Hey everyone, Mr. Clutch here, and we are looking at Thursday, June 22nd. I was actually on the road all day, so I was not able to trade, so I'm just now kind of looking here tonight and I'm checking out what today looked like. And so I've got some zones already marked, and then I kind of had this line down here. This goes way back. I don't know if there's a couple wicks on a couple days that came down to this line, and then like pre-market was kind of there. So I went ahead and just marked that as well. And so as we look at open here, man, look at all these wicks down onto this line here. So uh, you gotta be able to hold through this if you're gonna take something here, because there's a lot of wicks down, so you might get stopped if you ever try to take a breakout here. You got your EMAs above you, so it's kind of hard. But like when you see this line keep getting tagged, like I think the better play here is to take a call off this bottom line, and it takes some. It takes some guts to do that, because like when this is coming down hard and it's at the line, like there doesn't look like there's an end in sight. And that's the hard part of buying off EMAs and buying off of support lines is, you're hoping that that line holds. But the good thing is what you can do, especially when you're here 10 minutes into open and you've seen this get tapped or close to it. I mean, there's 6 candles. Here's 7, 8, 9. You're starting to see all these candles and it's just not pushing through. And so you could take and say, okay, on this one here, you take it. And your stops, if it comes down here with any kind of force below, like this little area right in here, you're going to go ahead and stop out. But anyway, so that could have given you a really nice trade there. But you're fine waiting through that. That's just, let me just close volume here. That's not for the faint of heart, and that's not necessarily our 2-minute move, because we've got all of our EMAs stacked above. And just so for reference, I mentioned before, the yellow's 13, purple is 48, and the red's 200. So I've added some extra EMAs just to kind of watch how price reacts to it. Lately I've been kind of tracking and watching that. But anyway, so we're waiting for either a rejection here and a breakdown, something to give us some kind of direction, and we get it through the zones, through the EMAs. Our EMAs are in the right direction here. You've still got some things under the 200 that are working their way back up, but the 13 and the 48's coming through. This right here was an excellent entry in my opinion. Here, so if we disappear, let's say, to this candle here. So like when you're watching. Okay, let's play this out a couple things here. So when you're watching here, like you've kind of got that as a trend line, but that's like not true yet. I wouldn't take the next candle if it broke out straight through. So you're still watching here. So like what I'm getting at is this like little wick through. Like, yeah, you could take that, but by the time you take this, look how far you extended from your EMAs. Like that's not a good risk reward play. These are the wicks that you're like, you jump in and you're like, now what do I do, right? Because this could back test the top of the zone again. It could back test the 13 and still be a healthy flag, but you're in up here, and then 60 cents later you're like, okay, do I hold on for dear life or cut it? This is the kind of play right here that you never want to be in, or I personally never want to be in. To each his own, but I don't want to be that far extended jumping in and hoping we take off. So just be careful about those. And as we play it out here, you'll see where the entry came. So we're still watching. Now this here, when this was pulling off those EMAs, you saw, I'm fine with that. Like we're down here close enough now, because even here we're still pulled pretty far away. But as we get down here and we're within 15 cents of the top of our zone, our EMAs, which the EMA was probably a little lower as it pulled that up. But still, there's some risk to reward, and the flags break in, and so off we go. So just keep that in mind on how to play those. Like, don't take your entries far away. So once we get up here, we're kind of looking at flags. You know how I am with steep flags, but again, right to the 13, I could see a play there. It would be a scalp, and we're redrawing kind of this trend line here. Yeah, and this is where I noticed I actually did check in the day, and I kind of drew this out. Let's see. We've got this. Okay, yeah, this was I was tracking. You could track this trend line after this has already happened. So you just kind of got this going out. You got this one here, and it breaks out right here, and so that I like that play again right after your EMAs, and there you go. Now once this happens, you're looking for a pullback. It never really gets it here, so now you're drawing this, and this is what I really liked once the day started, because this trend line finally breaks. And if you just want to play the trend line, you got your 200 below and stuff, but it knifed through that. And then you're kind of maybe stretching this out a little. And you're kind of drawing like this little pennant or triangular flag or whatever you want to call it. And when this breaks up, you're a little extended here, but I think that's a pretty strong break when you have a close. You could have taken that, maybe gotten that a little. But what's really cool here, so you got that connected, okay, is on these pullbacks, we talk about how trend lines get respected on back tests. Right here, back test it. You could even take a call off that just as a, just to try it, and put your stop right here below the trend line in the 48. Goes up, but look at this, comes right back down, wicks it again, and fires up. So keep that in mind when you're drawing out trend lines and it's coming back to test them. It's just watch how it reacts. A lot of times it'll bounce off, even if it does end up falling back in or whatnot. So keep an eye on that. And yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna do SPY tonight because it's getting late, and I just want to kind of look at this and review. Been overall pretty choppy day, staying in kind of some zones and up and big moves up, big moves down. So hopefully we'll start getting some more trending up or down and some nice smooth moves to catch some easy flags and some big trades. So anyways, hope everyone has a great end of the week on Friday, and I'll try to make a video either sometime Friday or end of the weekend.